Zordon, I'm on my way. Welcome back everyone to this White Ranger cosplay review video. Thank you so much for those who have watched the unboxing so far and all the other cosplay I've done reveals and reviews on so far. I really appreciate support. If you want to continue support, please smash that like and subscribe button if you're new here. And if you're not new here and you have not liked or subscribed, please do so as it really supports the channel and I will continue to do this. As I mentioned in the last video, I am sponsored by SimCosplay, but I do give very fair reviews on their product, which you'll come to know today. I don't do anything in particular that's because I'm being sponsored. I will be 100% honest. You can ask any question and I will give you the God's honest truth of what I feel that this cosplay is in terms of quality. Now I will upfront say this is not Anarchy Cosplay. They are a very high-end, deluxe, amazing company. I have a lot of friends who own their cosplay. Very, very phenomenal stuff. You're talking in the $600 and $700 range with a helmet. Right here today, we're talking about $120 plus some shipping. So obviously there's going to be some quality differences, but I do still recommend this costume to those who can't get Anarchy because I like it. I really do like this costume. And I'll explain a little bit more as we go on that distance helps out a little bit and it's not as campy looking as you might think. There are some flaws and we'll get into that, but I really do recommend this cosplay. I've enjoyed wearing it so far. I've enjoyed the photos that I've done with it and I think this is something you could bring to a Comic Con or an event or whatever you're planning on using it for. So let's get straight into it. We will start off with the spandex itself. So it starts up like any other. It's got the collar like a Ranger costume should, so it can go right underneath the helmet. It zips up about half back. I will say the first day that I sat down in this, it ripped like right behind my butt. And I don't know if I stressed it or that was poor sewing. My wife fixed it pretty quick, no problem since. So maybe it was just a poor seam or whatnot. I really can't say either way if that was due to poor quality, but I don't really think so. This does really well actually. It's good, it's stretchy, but it's still tight. Measurements come in big here. I almost went with a standardized medium. Don't. There is an option on SimCosplay in the cart to give them your actual measurements. If you're not sure how to do that, look it up, get a measuring tape and do so. Spandex is more critical than any other type of cosplay to have it form-fitting. So definitely pay attention to that. But it's good. Obviously, it's white. Wear white under it. I think that's pretty obvious, but sometimes we forget, you know. Definitely wear white underneath it. Obviously, it's going to look a little different underneath. Overall, good quality. It's good. It's stretchy. It's pretty thick, too. You will get warm in this. I didn't really expect that from a spandex, but it's nice and cozy and tight. So definitely keep that in mind. Next, we'll go to the boots. The boots are pretty cool. Once again, I am terrible with ordering the proper size. I went with the same size I went the last two times thinking, maybe those ones are just not right. No, I'm really recommending from here on out that if you do order a size of shoes in SimCosplay that you go a size down from what you normally wear. And I say that because the soles are very thick and they're formed, so this doesn't give much space to get snug around the top of your foot or around your ankles. I prefer my cosplay shoes to be tight. I just like them snug. That's just my style. It may not be yours, so definitely keep that in mind when ordering these. Just like the cosplay for the, for the suit, the white suit, this is it. This is probably the simplest boot that I've ever had. Most other ones have laces and other types of designs that are critical to making the cosplay look movie or TV accurate. However, this just zips up right in the back. You'll get pretty warm in these too. These are pretty thick. Don't let the campy looking feel of the boots fool you. They are quite comfortable overall. So just a quick zip up and boom. I mean, I like that because I hate really dealing with the boots or the shoes or whatever I'm doing with that particular type of cosplay in general. Not fun. Next, let's talk about the belt. So a couple of negative things here. It's Velcro, and I'm not sure really what else to expect here. There aren't too many ways in a simpler cosplay to be able to gauge and move things around. So this gives you about an inch, inch and a half of leeway left or right. So it does leave you a little space, but if you're a little larger in the belly and you can't, then obviously you're gonna have this, and that's gonna be a little annoying. So definitely, again, pay attention to your measurements. SimCosplay has done a fantastic job of taking my measurements and getting it right. So I really wouldn't worry about that too much. And I've gotten 4 costumes from them. 1 is for my wife, 3 have been for me. So I feel like I've had enough of them to be able to say that that's okay. Make sure that you do give them your measurements. Try not to go with standardized, especially if you're not average in one place and you are in another. That's where that becomes really, really important. The second part, the frontal piece right here, is just like a piece of sticky paper or tape. It does kind of peel up. It's cool looking from a distance, but when you get up close, you can tell. I had to like press mine back down a little bit, and it does kind of peel up, so I'm not really happy about that. I don't, know what else you could have done to maybe fix or make this look better, but I wasn't really pleased with that. What I was pleased with on this belt was they actually gave you a spot to put your Saba, and this actually moves around a little bit, so if you need to adjust your belt in any way, you can. This will not fit the Legacy Saba. Legacy Saba is way too big, and if you're looking at this, you could probably already say that, you knew that. It will fit the 93. And actually the 93 kind of looks better with this just because of the size of the Legacy Saba is very, very large. And unless you're a bigger person, you don't really scale with it. Now, some of you might make the original Saba look too small, but it's definitely the way to go, especially if you're going to use this. If you extend the blade on the original Saba, you can get it through this holster, and it looks pretty cool. And I will be showing you that during this video. So pretty cool stuff, but it does move around, and it's a good quality. Just kind of a rubber. It's just sewn together. It's formed, so you don't got to really worry about it too much about coming apart. I think this is a pretty solid piece. So overall, the belt's cool. Just not really happy about the tape type design. Next, we'll move to the gauntlets. Again, they are very much the material of the top of the White Ranger boots. They are zip, just like most other things. And for this particular cosplay, I'm pretty okay with this, just because, it's just easier to deal with. Not a whole lot of tying and doing other stuff, but it zips down to the wrist. And you'll probably need assistance putting these things on. I have done it one-handed, not fun, takes up a lot of time. But it just zips up and down, that way you can get your hand through. And then of course you're gonna put this zipper piece on the inside of it, because you obviously don't want it showing on the outside. So just something to keep in mind. But very, very simple. It's thick, pretty good material. It's, not much more to say about it. I like these. I think they're a little bit cooler than I expected. Again, this is not Anarchy Cosplay. This is $120. So please, please, please keep that in mind when critiquing this type of cosplay, because for what you get, I think you really do get your money's worth. I really do. Here is the biggest disappointment in the costume. I'm not really a fan of these at all for several reasons. These may only come in one size. These are the armbands. I'm not really sure. I hope they make larger than this, because they barely fit my arms, and my arms are not that large. They are also Velcro. But the biggest problem is there's nothing really to hold them on your arms. They slide a lot, which is extremely annoying. And I've seen other White Ranger cosplay before, and I don't know if other people have dealt with that. But the problem is when this is straight, it doesn't look so bad. Yeah, it's really thick. It's almost like a candy bar. But when you roll it up, it's just almost like it's not designed to. It's just... I don't know. I wish they would improve this down the line, because I don't know. It doesn't look very good. Now, it does a little bit better when it's forced to, and it scrunches up around your arm, and it gets a little more form, as you can see. It's actually solids out. There's not as many corners and kinks in it that would look that way. So it's not bad once you get on your arm, but upon initial look, it's not great. So you will have to babysit it, and I'll show you that here later in the video. But this is definitely the most disappointing part in the cosplay. I wish there would have been, a way to Velcro it to this specific spot on your bicep or whatnot to keep that from moving, because I think you would think that would be accounted for. Next, we have the gloves. Nothing special. I did wish that they were part of the gauntlets instead. Like I wish, kind of like the 93 toys, they might have given you this all together. But that's not something that they did, unfortunately. So they are separate. You know, they're okay. These probably are the best quality gloves that I've gotten from SimCosplay. That's just not something they specialize in or maybe care, I'm not sure. But they're very, I mean, something you could probably buy at a Halloween costume shop or a party store. But they do the job. Just try to do what you can to make sure they stay tucked underneath your gauntlets. That way, you know, they don't show through too much. Again, $120 cosplay. So just keep that in mind. But they're not as cheap as the gloves that I got with, say, Green Arrow or my Kylo Ren costume. Those were just literally some cheap fabric satin that were just garbage. This actually has form. It's actually kind of nice. It goes with the costume. So out of all the gloves I've gotten from them, I'm actually happiest with these. And they give you a little bit of design here to at least make it look like it's part of the cosplay. So they did go the extra mile this time, so I'll give them some slack on that. Next, we come to the highlight of the cosplay, the shield. So, if you notice, if you go back and look at my original unboxing of the shield, the crest was actually, I don't know, 2 or 3 centimeters tilted. So this was not perfectly aligned with the cosplay. And so I actually had to tear this off. This is foam. This is foam that's just glued to the rest of the chest piece. So cheap in some cases, but fortunate in others, because I actually had to tear this off and buy some glue, which I'll tell you about here a little bit later, that many other cosplayers use and recommend. That's how I came to know it. But my wife was actually able to nicely get this realigned and reattached, and you really can't even tell that it didn't come that way. Now, that's not to say that they will make that mistake again. It could have been a single product flaw when making it. Mine was custom in terms of measurements. So I wouldn't hold that against them unless, you know, you see multiple reviews of someone just not able to hack it. So it was fixable. So I'm not going to really, you know, throw stones over that one. It wasn't a big deal. Overall, this is the piece that I'm most impressed with. I think the shield is very cool. Now, I will say that when I put it on, you'll come to see this as well. It seems like it's a little high or maybe a little low on the torso. I'll let you decide how you want to say that. But say you put it here, up under the neck, it doesn't quite close as much of the gap as the real White Ranger cosplay, where the belt is and where the end of the shield is. And my chest is a little bit bigger because I work out. I'm not huge, but it does affect how you wear it because I feel like it leans up a little bit. And you'll probably see that here in just a little bit. So another thing that zips in the back, and you know, this is probably the most solid part of the cosplay. This is a very foam kind of cushiony inside, so it sits real nice. It's not heavy. It's not uncomfortable like some cosplay that's extremely heavy. Again, don't try this one-handed. I've done it. It's not fun. It's doable, but it's not fun. So that's the shield. I really like it. Again, same material on all the gold pieces. It's been used on the gauntlets, the boots, as well as the armbands. So, all right. So that's kind of it for the pieces. Now I think we should just get into the cosplay. But you know, I don't know. I guess I should do this right, huh? Tiger sword. Oh man, much better. All right. Guess who's back? I always want to do that, actually. Anyway, let's get back to it. Helmet not included. GameStop exclusive. I think it's exclusive. I'm not sure. My wife got it for my birthday last year. It was pretty awesome. Anyway, here it is. I love this cosplay. I really do. This is pretty awesome. Again, a little bit of distance in between the chest piece and the belt, which is fine. I mean, I'm not too picky with that sort of thing. If we look at the 90s Power Rangers, there was lots of flaws in their cosplay between that and the Japanese version anyway. So when you think of Anarchy versus Sim, you'll think of Japanese versus American in the early 90s. That's what I do. Anyway, again, this cosplay very, very nicely holds Saba. This is the original 1994, I believe it is. You can love this thing. So it fits in really nicely, and it just really does go well with the cosplay. It scales properly, and I think when they made this, they actually had this in mind. So fits well. Again, the chest piece, a little, I wouldn't say tight, just maybe not as large as I'd like it to be, and that's okay. It still looks really cool. I mean, honestly, you have to give it credit for $120. This is the ensemble that you get. I mean, this is really cool. I do really like it. Again, so the arm pieces, just keep the zip part in. Same thing in the armbands. See, they don't look too bad once they're on the arms. They're so form-fitting now, and they take out those creases by just bending or trying to make them do what you want to off of you. So not too bad. They slide easily. I mean, a little bit of movement, and they're going to come down. So unfortunately, there will be some baby sitting there. That's the biggest down of this cosplay, easily. Again, the spandex itself, as you can see, there's not many creases as besides when I actually bend and flex. This actually does really well. I would say that the spandex itself was the most concerning part, not only because I wasn't sure how my body was going to fit into it based on my measurements, but I also wasn't sure the kind of quality that I was going to get out of them. So I would say after Kylo Ren, Green Arrow, the different things that I've done so far, this was the most concerning cosplay I spent on. But I like it. And if you have any questions, hit me up down below. I'll put a link in the description to where you can find this cosplay and all the other ones that I've tried so far. I do recommend you check them out. SimCosplay is very, very cool. Of course, another disclaimer, Saba does not come with this cosplay either. You'll have to eBay that probably nowadays, especially if you're as old as I am. But, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed this cosplay review. Sorry I couldn't dress it on in front of you. Obviously, there's a lot of zipping and difficult things to get on, so it wasn't going to be really feasible. So hopefully future cosplay reviews will be a little bit different. Again, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I will continue to do more. I have my next cosplay coming now, and I guess I'll go ahead and say, because I'm really excited and I can't wait anymore, it should be here any day. I'm getting the Thor Dark World movie cosplay. This one I am so excited for. I've never had a very, very cool Thor cosplay. I bought one from Party World a few years back that's animated, so it's very buff in the chest and very padded and whatnot. It gives a very animated look. It's cool, but I'm really excited for this. Thor's one of my favorite characters in the MCU. So, one more time, please like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you would like to see me cosplay and try out next. Look at their website. Send me some links. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear your opinion. And if you sampled this cosplay or any other from SimCosplay, let me know. Tell me about it. Tell me what your review is. I'm very interested to hear from you guys. Until then, may the power protect you.
Dragon Sword!